When I showed up today to the courthouse, I was greeted by this guy. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Motorcycle Rewind, and today we're with a 1982 Honda Passport C70. Who knows when the last time this sucker ran? You guys may recognize this Passport from the school video where we found the 34 motorcycles at an abandoned school. This was one of them, and it looks to be fairly complete. Turn signals, headlight, 2,685 miles on it. Rear turn signals are here. We're missing both side covers, but it does this. So it does that. So let's put some juice to it and see what happens. Okay, so I forgot my test light at home, so I went ahead and made one with, this is a dash light bulb. Got two ends. I can just put a little alligator clip on this side. So you don't need to go buy one of those fancy test lights. And I can just ground this side, and then our bulb works. I got a test light. Comes in handy. Just checking all of these wires in here, and realize that this guy is a little, my fuse is a little janky. Let me see what is going on here. It was taped up. I don't think I was getting a good connection, but let's find out. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is a blown fuse. So let's put a new fuse in. Okay, we got a new fuse in there. Now let's check and see if we're getting juice to it. Let's see. Where was it? Here. Make sure this guy is good there. It goes up there. Let's see if we're getting juice up here. So I'm trying to chase out where my wire comes in and realize this guy was broken, my black wire, which is going to feed my coil. So, but then that's going to need to go somewhere, which is actually pretty good. I need to solder this guy so I have a better connection. And I need to figure out where these guys go. So where does my red one go? I'm gonna have to see if I can pull this front end apart. I'm just looking to see if there's a red wire in here. You know, it's one of these. There should be one that comes up from the bowels of this thing. Right? I wonder if this cap just comes off. Is that what happens? You unscrew that, you unscrew well, you just undo that clip, it looks like. Maybe undo the speedo. We'll figure it out. We'll take the cap off, take the top of this, and see if we can figure out where the other ends of these are. And then we may have figured out why this thing was parked. And it may have been just from this broken one. So I'm going to take this guy home. We'll solder this guy up, and then we'll worry about putting ends on it later. Okay, let's go ahead and get this guy off. Okay, let's see if we can get, we'll have to find that. See if we get this sucker off. Oh, that's perfect, just like that. There's our problem right there. That's our problem. I'm gonna unplug it from right here, take it home, solder all these joints, come back in tomorrow and just plug it back in. Okay, probably the fuse probably blew because these were just, maybe they were twisted together when I pulled the thing out, but I'm sure they were shorting out, which is what happened. But let's test to make sure we have power coming all the way to here, have power all the way to here, and then we could probably run this guy to this guy, and maybe this guy. Yep. We'll make sure we leave the ground off. And we should have power to right there. And a horn. And kind of a starter button. So And turn signals. Yep. Back? No back one. That one works. We got a little problem right now. It's blinking too, but that's all right. And then it just stopped. It said I had enough blinking. Also, I need to share, this is probably one of my personal favorite things, is when they cut it right at the connector. My connector is really 6 inches away from there. No need to cut this. No need to cut it. Come on, man, you're better than that. So like I said before, I start from the very simplest things. Start from, does my battery have juice? And just using the simple test light. Test it here. Going beyond, I had a blown fuse. So we solved that. So we know we're getting power from here. And then now we got to check and see if we're getting it to the switch. If we get it to the switch, then we got to check to see, is it coming from the switch back to where it needs to go? We do those things. And we did all that with just this found test light. And I call it found because it was just a leftover dash light that I didn't throw away, that I keep just for this occasion. You know, I could go crazy and snip the ends off, put alligator clips on the end so that it make it more like a test light. But this is the same thing I use to test points. May not be the right way, it's the way I do it. It works in my head. Figure out what works for you. Some of you guys can grab a multimeter and just test this guy out, and you can do that. I can't do it. So I'm going to repair this guy. We'll do some solder joints on it, be able to plug it in, and then I've got to solder this guy, the black one, back to there, the black and white one, which is what I'm going to need to be, oh, I got two of them, the black and white one and the black one. I've got to solder those two on so that they'll actually work. So let me bring these home. Guys, come on. Find the plug and just unplug it. Sometimes if you just look 2 minutes more, you'll just unplug it and you won't have to do this. So we'll repair all this so it'll go back together, and then hopefully we'll have power to our points, and then fingers crossed this sucker will run. Guys, I don't know about you, I like finding stuff like this because I know that, like the busted fuse, I know that if I fix that, the power will go further. This is the reason why this wasn't working. This, the reason why that wasn't working. I can fix that, then this thing will work. So now we know it'll happen the rest of the way. So find those simple faults. Fix the first thing so you can get to the next thing. Again, we had to fix the fuse so we get to the next thing. We got to fix this so we can get to this. It's just these old motorcycles. You're fortunate enough to be able to fix the first thing, so you get to figure out what you get to fix next. Okay, so I have our switch back. I use solder joints right here to repair all those. And then I soldered the black and the black and white wire that were. Let's see if this sucker works. We got nothing. I'm not getting any lights up here. So, not getting any power. Let's test this. Okay, so I have my test light right here plugged in. Let's just see. I should get power at the red one. Yep. At the black and white. So I'm getting power to the points. Not getting the switch is working. It's off now. Let me see if I can just clamp this right there. So that's on the black and white wire. Off, on. So I'm getting power there. The switch is working right there. Is it not working on this side? I'm not getting anything. Let me test this wire, make sure we're good. Okay, so I have my light. The one end is running to a ground, or well, running to my test light that's running to the ground, and then this is supplying power. I just want to test continuity, make sure it's going through, and if it works, my light should come on, right? Yep, and my light is coming on. So the fault is not in here, but in here. So I don't know what that is. The key does not come out, which could be part of the problem. This may be the wrong key that was just beat into it. That we're gonna jump this whole thing just to make it work. We need a new switch. Guys, this is one of those examples to where you get to repair something to find out what else you have to fix. This, we now know, was spliced the way it was cut because it didn't work. We're gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna cut it, hang these wires out so we can just hang them out here, twist them together to then have power to everything so we can use the electric start and everything, and then see if we can get this sucker running. Got the wires twisted together. I got power up here. Let's see if we get any starter. Hey. Oh, let me hook this guy back up. So we do get something. So let's pull that spark plug off and see if let's try it again. Let's wait till this guy kicks in. Yeah, it's turning over. Let's see if we have spark. Go. Okay, let me get these leg shields off just because we're gonna have to do it. I can tell this has been off before because the hardware was a 13, 12, 10, and an 8. One of them, especially this one right here, this is this is the same nut used for a valve stem. So now that we have it off, we can get to the points. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, after taking the side cover off, I realized that the 1982 C70 Passport is probably my least favorite Passport. After doing some research, 1982 is when they started with the CDI. So this is either going to work or it's not going to work because we may need some CDI help. So fingers crossed. Okay, I got the spark plug out, got it grounded here. Let me see if we have some spark. I ain't got nothing. I got nothing. Let me pop this off, trim this, and see if I maybe get a better connection, fingers crossed. So let's try it again. Nothing, still nothing. We're gonna need to dig a little deeper, but let's go ahead and check compression while we're here. Finger over the hole. I'm not feeling any. Let's make sure it's moving up and down. Yep, it's moving up and down, but I got nothing. Okay, you win some and you lose some. Guys, all of these motorcycles that I'm getting going here at the courthouse, I'm trying to do them, initially get them going without any parts. Can I get them going with what they have on them right now? This guy obviously is gonna need some love. One, we don't have spark. Two, we don't have compression. We're probably gonna need to clean the carburetor as well. So this is, and we'll have to roll it in the corner and let it think about its life choices. And then we'll identify what we think it needs. Obviously, we've got to solve. Which one do you solve first? That's a good question. Which one do you solve first? Obviously, yeah, I believe you got to solve the compression first. The good thing is that doing this guy is not very difficult. Right? Pop it off, undo a couple of bolts, pop it off, pull the exhaust off, and you can get to new rings. The rings are probably stuck. It only has 2,600 miles on this thing, so it should be okay, but we've got 4 of them here and another one. There's one more, so it's, do we do it on this, or is this one that we punt and we kick to the curb? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? Kind of a bummer, but on the bright side of things, when I showed up today to the courthouse, I was greeted by this guy. Let me put this guy back together, put it over there where it goes, and then we'll get to that CL450. So I got the C70 out of the way, so let's take a look at this CL450 double overhead cam. This, I believe, is a K1. I believe it has the wrong tank on it. I believe it has a later tank, because the K1 tank should have the badge right here. And the reason why I say it's a K1 tank, because the VIN, if you can see it, you may not be able to see it, CL450-101. So it starts with a 1. So I believe that to be a K1. But this one has been heavily restored, is what I'm going to say, because it's definitely super pretty. And what I mean by that is that it's got a chrome swing arm. It has a chrome kickstand and center stand. Everything has been chromed. These, the hubs have been chromed. Exhaust is good. The engine's been painted. Engine was painted all the way through. I mean, look, these guys were chromed. It's the toolbox was chromed. Oh, let's check in here and see. Hey, hey, hey! Let's see what it looks like. Oh, it's a bit crunchy, but it's got stuff in it. I don't have a heat gun here, so I don't want to open it without a heat gun. Yeah, it looks as though the frame was powder coated. I mean, the engine. Somebody bought the Allen head kit from from Common Motor. Engine's painted, everything painted. So, looks like it's got fresh paint here and here. Again, this tank should have I believe, a white stripe right up at the top. I'm hoping there's some CL450 experts out there that will be able to let me know what's what about picking out the turn signals, all of that stuff. Based on the VIN for the engine and for that, they both start with a 1. And I think there's a way you can tell, I'll have to do some more research, what the different K1, K2, K3 will be their red line, where they red line. These are the gauges. Looks like it's got 8,962 miles on it. Looks like it's got an aftermarket throttle on it. Same with the clutch and here. I believe they were integrated. Let me know. But it needs some. At first glance, it's a beautiful motorcycle, and then when you look a little closer, you're like, okay, it needs just some tidying up. For instance, this wiring coming from here down here needs to be tidied up. Same thing on this side. Just little things like that, they'll just take it over. I believe it has, it may be the correct seat, but it's got an aftermarket cover that is there, because this seat, it does have, see if I can do this with one hand, this seat does have the kickstand. Later ones started flipping up from the flipping up this way as opposed to this way. Flipping up from the side, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I mean, somebody spent some time polishing. It's pretty, for sure. And the great thing is, let me get to the key, is I did this earlier. It has fuel in it. Starts up. Oh, one thing we'll have to sort out. Watch my lights here. So I've got to check, maybe I need a rectifier or a regulator. But if you turn on the headlight, solve it. Without the headlight. Oh, did I fix it already? Hey, maybe I fixed it. Not doing it anymore. Well, let's check the tail light, see if that does it. Yeah, we'll have to dig through that and see if we can sort that out. But everything is, this is a pretty motorcycle. So you guys are thinking the same thing I am, right? Let's take it for a ride. Okay, let's turn the key on. Push the button. Let's go run a lap. See how it runs. I added some gas to it, so we'll see. That's breaking up a little bit. It's probably going to need to be tuned, but turn signals, yeah. Let me turn the headlight on. About 4,500, 5,000 RPMs. It feels like it breaks up a little bit. Right there, you felt it? Brakes work. Front one needs to be adjusted a little bit. Yeah. That's pretty good. It probably just needs to be ridden. Oh, hold on, don't stall it. Yeah, it brakes up a little bit. Yeah, we'll have to do some work on it, but for what it's doing right now, probably should have shifted. Beautiful day. Fish Fry Friday. It's a Friday in Lent, so you're always going to have fried fish available in the South. Maybe a little down low. It could be an ignition problem too. We'll have to go through the whole thing. choke is off. Make sure the choke was off all the way. Hey, that may have been it. My choke may have been on. No, it's back. Make sure it's off. That's on. That's on. Ah, beautiful day. It was supposed to rain today. Sorry about the wind. Alright. Got some a little choppy out there. Let's see if we got cars coming. Yeah, it returns to idle. It just needs a little love. This thing may have just been put together and not really ridden. It's only 5 miles on the trip meter. Trip meter. Such a great day. Well, I'm actually happy the Passport didn't run. Get to get out on this and downshift. Even though it's not running really good, it's still worth it being on this thing. Gotta clean that up. Over that. Let's see. I wonder if, I bet it's just not, it's got, I think it's got some pod filters and it's probably running stock jets, because I think I was monkeying with the choke lever and I found a sweet spot. So let me see. Yeah, it just needs a bigger jet probably, or a better air filter. Could be. I don't know, I'm guessing right now. Could need some carb love. See how it does. Coming slower. Yeah, it's better. The choke is like halfway. Still breaks up a little. Horn works. Avoid the speed bump. Yeah, it's still breaking up. Now that I've got the choke open, it's breaking up at a different spot. Not bad. Needs some love. CL450 K1 ran out pretty good. And I say pretty good. It started, it stopped. I made it back here, so that's always a win. I didn't have to push it. Although I did get a little nervous. I did stop to take the thumbnail, take a picture for the thumbnail, and the battery was low. Wasn't enough to turn it over. So I had to kick it. Thankfully, it started right up. I did get a little nervous right off. I was like, I'm gonna have to push this sucker all the way back. But thankfully, I did not. It's pretty, it needs some work. We're gonna have to go through, figure out why my voltage is up and down, figure out why, which that could be part of the reason why I'm cutting kind of, I don't want to say cutting in and out, but it is stumbling. So we'll have to sort that out. We'll have to check the carbs to make sure that that is not our problem, but we're going to try to solve the electrical first. We'll clean up and just tidy up this stuff. You know, it's not much. It's just, let's put this guy on the other side of there, which we'll probably have to unplug everything to get it all back in, but that's no problem. Let's do that, tidy it up. Same thing on this side. Just tidy that up. It'll look so much better. Little things like this. Let's just move this guy to the other side of the lever. Just, you know, little things. We'll tidy up little things, and then I think it'll be good. We sort out the carb, and this will be a fun bike to ride. It's definitely a looker. So guys, we started off on a Honda C70 Passport, ended up on a CL450. You never know what's going to happen, especially when there's so many motorcycles around here. So guys, I want to thank you for watching yet another episode of Motorcycle Rewind. And do me a favor, like, tag, share, and follow us on Instagram at Motorcycle Rewind. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thanks again, guys, and have a great day.